Having a naturally deadpan voice is real fun. Dude, you know what's funny? I think I come off so differently online than I do in person. I want to read you a message that a friend sent me. It was a friend that I met IRL a while back. And I want to read you this message because I read this and I was like, what? So they came on a trip out here and hung out with them. And they were like, thanks so much for showing me around. I want you to know, I think you're so talented. You have such a bright and engaging personality. It was so wonderful to see you in the way you really communicate. I read that. I was like, what? Bright and engaging. I was like, no one says that to me. But I think that's like, I'm very different online. Not that I act different. It's just like, if you're not seeing me moving around, then it's just different. I don't know, man. It was just funny. I read it and I was like, what? Thanks. Who's she talking about? A Disney princess? Yeah, that's... I was like, right. But then I thought back to like shit we were doing. And I think it's because this person can tell when I'm joking. I think she like... I think she can tell when I'm joking. So I think she just saw that I'm like very unserious all the time, but my delivery sounds serious. So we, like, for example, at one point we were in an elevator and the elevator started moving and it was very slow. And me and her were in there and there were a couple other people. And I just looked at one of the other people and I was like, we're going to die in here. We're never getting out. And I'm like, I wasn't laughing. You know, I was just doing that. And she was like, I think it's because I'm just like always like that. She was like, I don't know if the word bright is right for it, but the unseriousness, I guess. I don't know. Just remember reading it and I was like, bright. Okay. I don't know. Chat GPT words, right? If your face is really readable. I have a really animated way of physically expressing myself that I don't think gets picked up by the model at all. At all. There are little things that I will do here and there that I'm aware I'm doing, but you won't see it. It's just one of the things with VTubing that, like, just, I don't know. It's not just the hands, no. It's not the hands. I mean, like, literally my face. Literally my face. But I'm not always, like, moving bigly, you know what I mean? You have to, like, really overdo every little movement to have it show up. I just do a lot. It's just all more subtle, I guess, is the way to say it. So it's like, you won't see it very much, you know? Stinks. But it's whatever. The hands do, you know, they're there, though. I mean, I sometimes I'm talking to chat and I'm like, physically, my entire body's moving. I'm moving my arms. I'm flinging my arms around as I'm talking, and I'm making shapes with my hands as I talk. I'm describing something to you, and I'm making a shape in the air as if you can see it when you literally cannot. And I do it all the time. And I'm like, I really should just get like 3D tracked hands only, so that when I'm using 2D, I just like, they're just hands on the screen or something. I really should. I really should. I thought you'd be streaming like this. Yeah, I have my moments where I'm definitely just sitting there and I'm like this, like my head is back and I'm just like not moving. Especially when I'm playing games, I kind of like freeze because I'm locked on the middle screen and I'm just not moving. And the thing is, my face is doing shit, but you're not going to see it because tracking isn't going to pick that shit up, you know? So I just look like I'm sitting there unmoving, but I'm actually like, I'm doing shit, you know? It's one of those things that I think VTubing suffers from a little bit. And anyone you see with a model that like is like moving around a lot or they seem very animated, they're like going out of their way to move their face a lot. They're really like, they look crazy. If you saw them IRL moving that way, you'd be like, what the fuck are they doing? You know? Because you have to like, if you want something to happen, you have to go 3 times over what you think you need to do to make it appear the way you want it. Would you want your tracking to be sensitive enough to pick up those body motions? No. When you make it more sensitive, what happens is the motion starts, like the start point appears quicker, but then the end point is reached faster. And I don't know how to describe this well, but basically it makes the tracking look a lot worse. It makes it look a lot worse. So you're better off overdoing your own expressions and movements and stuff. Because when you have that start point of an animation happen quicker, it means you're going to reach that end point a lot quicker, and everything starts to look like very choppy in a way. It makes you look really choppy. So it could be rough. That could be rough. Buff makes crazy facial expressions with their face. Yeah, I mean, part of it is how your rigging is done, but also part of it is a lot of people animate faces to do things that like they, the person, aren't exactly doing. Like if I raise my eyebrows a little bit, you see my eyebrows are barely moving on this. This model isn't really okay. If I move them down, they move a lot. There's a lot of eyebrow movement. I could have made it so that when I move my eyebrows, they don't just move up, they like flatten out and they look more surprised and all this. And all it would be is just linked to the up and down that I'm doing IRL. But you can make the endpoint animation like way more crazy if you just want it to be like that, you know? But then it means every time you're talking, you raise your eyebrows a little bit, then it looks like it's like overdone, you know? So there's a lot of reason to not go for that as well. It's a weird thing because tracking doesn't work like one-to-one. It does exactly what you do. It's just like, if eyebrow up, do this. If eyebrow down, do this. If mouth X goes to -1, do this. Like, it's not literally tracking your movements in any exact way. It's just taking movements that you're doing, putting them on a range, on a little scale of like 0 for neutral, -1, and +1. And then it's taking a set of animations. And for those animations, you say, this is what 0 is, this is what -1 and +1 are. That could be like eyebrow up, eyebrow down, for example, or like neutral, 0 in the middle. And then you just liken those numbers to each other. You know what I mean? You just have like, if the eyebrow's doing this, then spit out this animation. So it's not in any way exactly doing what your face is doing, you know, if that makes sense. Yeah, it's puppeting. So that's why there's like, you're so limited with a lot of stuff that your face might do naturally that doesn't really get picked up. When I talk, one of my eyebrows goes up a lot. I do that a ton. That does not get picked up by tracking. Unless both are moving up and down, it doesn't really like do them, or it'll like kind of move slightly, but it doesn't really, it's not enough to be noticed. So you will never see, like, that's the thing I do all the time. You will never see it. You just won't because they don't have separated left and right eyebrow movements. It's not a thing. It just ain't a thing. Not on 2D, at least. Yeah, I literally do that. I also furrow my brow a fuck ton. So I have like when I'm thinking, my thinking face, I'm always like furrowing my brow really hard. Ever since I was like little, especially, my parents would like, they'd stick their fingers like right onto the space in between my eyebrows and like smooth out my skin. They'd go like, and like they like split my eyebrows apart with their fingers, because I'd always be like furrowing my brow and they'd be like, relax, your muscles relax, you know? And that's something that doesn't get picked up by models. That like the X value of your eyebrows, like whether they're in or out, left and right, that doesn't get picked up by models at all. So you're never going to see that from me, you know, stuff like that, you know? But yeah, she would always, my mom especially, she would always like take her finger and like, yeah, right, when people are like, unclench your jaw, sit up straight, for me it was like, stop furrowing your brow. That was a big one. I was just permanently like all the time. And it wasn't being angry, you know, it was just like thinking. It's just a thinking thing for me. And as a result, my muscles are so strong. I can move my eyebrows however I want. Very easily. Because my muscles go crazy. They go insane. You furrow so much you have the key to your brow now. Oh. Yeah, for me, thankfully, like, my neutral face is still, like, eyebrows pretty relaxed. Pretty nicely relaxed. So thank God. And I think it's because I always got reminded to unfurrow my brow. That I do think about it. But it still happens, man. It still happens. I don't know. I think my neutral expression is like very truly neutral, except do I have much of a frowny mouth? Hold on, looks itself. Not that much. Very little, very slightly. I think I look truly neutral. Oh, you have like a permanent smile face. I have one friend who's got like she has this permanently pleasant expression. Right? It's the opposite of resting bitch face. She always looks a little happy because the way her mouth shape is, the outer corners of her mouth are just like very upturned. And that is purely just the way her muscles on her face lay. She's not making any expression, but because of that, everyone perceives her as very pleasant all the time. So whenever we're out anywhere, people come up to her. They want directions, they ask her. They want to know, you know, oh, where do I find this thing? Oh, what time does this open? They always just beeline to her and ask her because she looks non-threatening because she has like those little corners of her mouth going up. Kind of like a little cat mouth, you know what I mean? Like the colon 3, where like just the outer edge is like meow. That's just like what she looks like. So yeah, she just gets approached constantly. And she actually completely hates it because she's very introverted and, you know, does not want to be approached, but she gets approached all the time. All the time. Yeah, that one. That emote, you're furry, aren't you? That emote. Her face looks like that because, you know, if you cover the mouth, like the eyes on it don't really look that happy. They look pretty like neutral, normal. And that's her. Her entire face is like totally relaxed, but then her mouth just looks like meow, a little bit. I feel like that's a curse if you're introverted. Ugh. Ugh. My God. I don't think I could put bitch in the title, but I wish I could.